Hey folks, Vortex here and welcome to my review of the EPZ Q1 Pro. So like very recently I've done the Q1, which is technically the older model. So this is the Pro. I know the tuning is meant to be a bit different, and yeah, as usual, full disclaimers, I'd like to thank EPZ themselves for sending this out to me, so thank you very much. I was not paid to this video, nor thoughts opinions are my own. And obviously EPZ, they made a few single dynamic drivers per now and they're pretty good. So obviously I'm quite curious of the difference between the non-pro model, which had quite a safe tuning. So yeah, let's just get into it. So let's have a closer look what we get. So Q1 Pro, I'll leave it out like this so you can see in the reflection. Obviously that's the driver type, 3D printed resin cavity, fluid panel, not quite sure what that is. The artist who makes his own headphones. Again, some information on the box. So it looks like this is more, it's hard to see. So there's a bit more treble going on. Obviously I will graph it as well. So mine is the no mic version in blue. Obviously 0.78, 3.5. Some specs here. Again, it's a little bit tricky to see. Got 32 ohm impedance. Obviously 3.5, 1.2 meter cable, 4-core cable. 20 Hz to 20 kHz. Obviously the driver type, LCP and PU. And obviously it's the Pro model. So quite nice. Again, EPZ always make really nice looking products. Take these out. Obviously I'll have a look later on what this cable is, but yeah, obviously this one has no microphone, but the cable looks really good. Obviously it's a 2-pole and should say L, yeah. Again, really nice looking model. I love blue as well. So let's see what you get in the bottom. So some tips. So QC, obviously don't eat. Obviously a bit of paperwork. I'll have a look at that later on, which looks like English. And yeah, some English on the back there. Obviously common sense, the graph, and the specs. Tips, normal kind of parent, small, medium, large, and kind of the usual kind of carry pouch. And that's it. So again, I have no idea what these are like. Looks like there's some more treble according to the graph. And yeah, I'll see you in the future. So welcome to my review section of the EPZ Q1 Pro. And yeah, this is what it looks like with the cable. So you can get this in a few different versions. I've got it for the non-mic version, just for probably like outright reliability. And I don't really need to use the microphone, so straight 3.5. You can grab it there if you want to. You know, to make it easier. Cable seems quite nice really. Decent cable. No really need to change it. There's a obviously like chin slider, it's a little bit loose if that really matters to you. And obviously this is what it looks like fitted. Straightforward. Let's take these off. So yeah, decent cable, no real reason to change it unless you really need balanced. So let's just get on to kind of comfort and fit really. So I think them very good. That's it from the side. Take a tip off. Excuse me. So yeah, comfort, fit, all good. Good, fairly thin there, and that's it. Good set. So build quality and aesthetics. Again, very good. As you can see, I love the blue finish. It looks really good. So you can see there's some fingerprints. Excuse me. If you're not close, doesn't really matter. And yeah, very good. Obviously a lip and a nozzle there for the tips. So yeah, quite solid really. So pound sensitivity on this set. These are very easy to power. Just maybe a decent kind of dongle kind of DAC I'd probably recommend really. And that's it. You don't need anything special. But yeah, so far so good. So timbre on this set. I think it actually is pretty good. Better than the Q1. I'll do a quick and dirty comparison near the end of the video for that one, because it's basically the closest you can get to this model. Yeah, so kind of sound stage is pretty wide as well. Layering, like technicalities, I thought was okay. Not amazing, not bad, just somewhere kind of in the middle really, is probably my thoughts on that. And yes, the sound, so I'm going to put the graph on now. So there's a graph. So compared to the Q1, which I'll quickly go over later on. Yes, to go over. So bass, quite a good set. Not as bassy as I expected, but it has enough of it. Seems very natural with the low end. It seems pretty good. I personally might want a bit more. That's my preference. But the bass on this set is actually pretty good. Really, I couldn't really, for the average person, can't fault it. Good solid low end. So mid-range, it does bleed a little bit from the mids, which I like. But I think female vocals are probably a bit more forward than male. But male ones are pretty good as well. Mid-range, apart from that, is actually quite a solid set. Again, I think this is better tuned than the Q1. Again, I'll talk about that kind of later on, really. Upper mid-range is pretty solid. No... has kind of decent gain. It's not like super V-shaped kind of sound. It's nothing like that. Can be a bit bright, but I'll get to that in a sec. And yeah, pretty solid mid-range and bass, really, not much to say really. So the treble, now this is where it differs a lot from the Q1. Obviously I'll talk about it again later on. The only negative really, as you can probably tell, it is a bit forward in the lower treble. So if you go from the graph like 2.5 up to like 5, I prefer a little bit less there, but it does make this more detailed. Obviously depends on your listening volume and if you EQ. But if you're a normal volume listener, you shouldn't have any issues with that. That'll only be a problem if you turn the volume up, where it can be what people class as shouty or more forward. But if you don't turn it up loud, it's not a problem really. Good detailed set, like I said before. Layering and separation is actually okay. Like I said, definitely a better tuned product than the Q1. Again, they do look quite similar just from a glance. But yeah, treble is actually not too bad at all. Extension is enough as well. The 8K is obviously fake from the coupler. And yeah, not much to say really. It didn't really overwhelm me, but this is just under $40, I think, from the price. So it's priced, I think, very well for how it's tuned and how it looks. And like the cable and the looks of them themselves. But yeah, the trebles, it doesn't really do anything wrong. It just doesn't excel. But then again, as long as they didn't add any more treble, I think this is actually a pretty good set really. And conclusion is, what do I think of these? I think it's a pretty decent set overall, really. Let's get them both together so you can have a look. Yeah, good overall set. Doesn't really do much wrong. It's kind of a fairly safe set. It's just a bit more aggressively tuned than the Q1. For electronic music like I normally like, it's actually not too bad at all. Personally, I probably like a little bit more bass that's just my preference. And I'm quite glad there's not more treble than these already have. Again, I always go from the perspective of someone who doesn't EQ. Like, you can EQ these quite well as well. So the driver they use seems actually quite good. And yeah, so I recommend these. They don't really do anything wrong. Only real negative really is they can be a bit forward in the lower treble. And that's pretty much it. So, good set so far. Just a quick and dirty comparison with the Q1. I think it excels in a few places. The Q1 was probably a bit too treble shy. Obviously, you can see the graph what I mean. They are tuned quite a bit differently. But yeah, Q1 is just a warm, smooth tuning and doesn't really do that much. But it's good for people who do like a smooth tuning like I do sometimes. The Q1s are very easy to listen to. But the Pro version here is more, as you can see, it's much more elevated in the treble region. The mids are probably a bit cleaner on the Q1s because it doesn't have gain. And yeah, it just depends. As I say, whatever floats your boat really. They are a bit different. I think the Pro is the better product, the better tuned one, and that's pretty much it for me. So yeah, I think that's it. So if you think I missed anything, please do let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, take care, and yeah, see you in the next video. Another good, well designed looking good set. Blue's my favourite colour as well. So anyway, yeah, I'll see you in the next video.